In this video, I'm going to be talking about perspective, how perspective is life, how it impacts you, and what you can do about it. This video is going to be broken down into 3 parts. We're going to start with part 1, which is why perspective matters. Then we're going to go into part 2, which is how we can see things differently. And then part 3 is opportunity over sabotage. So let's break it down. Part 1, perspective we have determines the quality of our life. Because the perspective we have determines how we experience life, what emotions we experience, what thoughts we have, and how we feel. If we hold a perspective about something, it can be to our detriment. It could make us feel bad or make us see the situation negatively. Or we could choose to see the situation in a more positive way that's going to make us feel good. If perspective was just a matter of choice, we would just simply choose the perspective that makes us feel good. Why would we ever want to see things in a way that makes us feel bad? We would want to see things that make us feel good. It's not that simple. We are governed by more than just choice. We are governed by our past experiences, our belief systems, our own psychological defenses. We are more than just choice. We are a result of the life experiences that we've had to this point. And so, in a way, we have a lot of conflicting things that are happening within us that determine how we see things. We need to do a lot of the work behind that to find out, okay, I want to see this situation in a more positive way, but this thing and this thing and this thing is stopping me from doing that. It's getting in the way. This is where the self-awareness comes in. So if you're self-aware and you're aware of what's holding you back, you'll be better able to know what to target and what to reframe in order to help you see things ideally in a more positive way. So the fact is that when an event happens, we are not reacting to that event. We are reacting to our interpretation of that event. So we have a great deal of influence of how we choose to experience life. And it comes down to shifting and challenging our current perceptions. This leads me to our second part of this video, which is how we can see things differently. So step 1 is reframe your thoughts. That's simply take an existing thought you have about a situation and you are reframing it. You are restructuring that thought. I don't like to eat apples. I don't like the taste of apples. I hate apples. Okay. You could reframe that thought to be like, well, I'm glad I know what fruit I don't like so that I'm not going to disappoint myself in the future. I'm going to focus on the things I do like. Instead of saying, I hate something, you could reframe that to be like, I'm glad I know what doesn't work for me and I can spend my time focusing on what does work for me. The other thing you can do is positive affirmations, where you have a statement that you recite to yourself or you tell yourself positive things that make you feel good, empower you and strengthen you and help to boost your self-esteem in that moment. An example might be that you're about to give a presentation to your colleagues, you're feeling quite nervous, the anxiety is bubbling up, oh, what if I make a mistake? But that's when you catch yourself and you say, there is a reason my colleagues are going to listen to me. There is a reason I have been chosen to present this. It's because no one else can. So immediately you're reframing your thought, but you're also giving yourself a positive affirmation that you can do it and there is a reason you're doing it. So another one which is really important, and this is what I share with my clients quite often, is called the helicopter view. And I'm going to leave a link in the description to this because it's a template that you can use where you can become an observer in the situation you're in. So for example, let's say you're in an argument with your partner. That's where you get the helicopter view. What is the situation that occurred? How am I perceiving this? What thoughts are coming in for me? Then the next box is, okay, what is my partner thinking? What thoughts are they having and why are they reacting the way they are? And then if a third person came in the room that didn't know either of us, as an observer, what would they see? What would they notice? So you are stepping out of your mind and you are writing down the different ways that you can perceive this event, which helps to create a bigger picture. And this is the 4th step that you can do, is the bigger picture of, I'm so focused on what I'm feeling in the moment, you sometimes miss the bigger picture of the reality of the situation. So seeing things from different perspectives helps you to paint a more realistic portrayal of what is happening. You can better regulate yourself because you're less likely to let those emotions in the time overrule you. Another thing to do is exercise or do self-care. So when you get out of your mind and work with the body, The mind and body are connected. So if you ever went for a run or went to the gym, you feel good afterwards. You feel really pumped, you feel good, and it makes you more productive. You feel stuck in the mind and you feel you can't shift a certain perspective. You can't really see the bigger picture. Then just go to the body. Do a walk, connect with nature, use your senses, stimulate your senses. Go and exercise. Do something that's going to move the body and free up the mind. And that in itself is changing perspective, because you're coming out of just the thinking state and you're going into the moving and active state. Then see how you feel. See if you still feel stuck or if you can see a way forward from that point. So for part 3 of the video, opportunity over sabotage. Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of us have the tendency to self-sabotage. And self-sabotage is basically when you act in a certain way that does not benefit you in the longer run. And those acts are normally determined by the unhelpful thoughts that are rooted in anxiety or rooted in critical thinking. No one is ever born to be critical of themselves. It's something we learn along the way, and then at some point it becomes detrimental to our relationships, to our work and our life, and our overall health, and we've got to do something about it. And what we have to do is unlearn that thinking pattern and start to treat ourselves with more compassion. But it's very difficult and uncomfortable to just be compassionate to yourself while you have the same system of, well, no, you need to be working harder, you need to be doing more, you're not enough, no one's ever going to love you. You have all of these thoughts coming in that are governing the way you perceive the world. Sometimes it's not as simple as just to choose to see things positively. You have to do the work behind it in order to be able to really make that choice. A CEO has gone to the board meeting and said that they are projecting they are going to lose 50% of their revenue over the course of the year. This instills panic, this instills fear. What have I done? Who's made the mistake? I'm not good enough. These cycles of thoughts happen because it's presenting a problem. There is a problem, we need someone to blame. But rather than that, go from the sabotage mindset to the opportunity mindset, and it's referred to as SAGE. This is the part of the brain that is compassionate, that is calm, that doesn't allow any negative event to impact the decision-making or thinking process. Instead, it says, we are projecting to lose 50% of our revenue. How can we use this as an opportunity to grow? How can we use this as an opportunity to learn? To not let that projected loss impact our future decision-making, but instead use it as an opportunity to grow, to do something different. Maybe this is a sign that the current model we have is not working. Let's look at other things that we can do creatively that will help to combat this. And with that mindset, not only are you more productive and you could even enjoy the challenge, you are more likely to succeed because you are less likely to be sabotaged. The summary of this video is how to change your perspective, and there's many angles you can take. I would encourage you that you have to start with self-awareness. You need to know what are you changing and why it's causing you a problem and how you're thinking about it. So you're establishing what patterns of thinking do I have? How do these thoughts make me feel? How does this feeling make me want to perceive the world? From there, you can then say, okay, how do I want to see things? How will that new perspective help me to feel better? Help me to be more productive, more motivated, more loving, caring, empathic, whatever value it is you have. And then you can try different strategies. So it could be to reframe your thoughts. So you're just shifting how you currently think, using positive affirmations, doing the helicopter view. So that helps you to step outside of yourself and see the picture from different perspectives. So you can then be informed on which perspective best suits you. And also remember to take care of yourself, take care of your physical health, and always see the opportunity in things rather than allowing yourself to be sabotaged, because you're better than that. Guys, like and subscribe. I'm going to be coming out with more videos in the future, so stay tuned.